Hello everyone. I'm glad to see you on my channel. My name is Nadia. In this video, we'll be looking at how to knit this sweater. This sweater is from the Free store. We'll go over its main pattern. It's available in the store in two colors. This light white and a slightly beige one. I have prepared a chart for this pattern. I drew the chart using my own symbols. Honestly, I couldn't find the notation for some common stitches. Like how to slip a stitch with a yarn over. Or then in the next row slip 2 stitches with a yarn over. I couldn't find it. So I had to invent something. The chart will be available in my Telegram channel with a legend in PDF format. You can simply download and print it on regular paper. I also went to the Free store and looked closely at how this sweater is knitted. Look at what I have so far. And I will continue to explain the pattern as I go. So, for the sample, you need to cast on a number of stitches that is a multiple of 6. Plus 1 stitch for symmetry. This symmetry stitch is even highlighted on the chart. So you will clearly understand where the symmetry stitch is. And 2 edge stitches. I have 39 stitches. That means 6 repeats, 1 symmetry stitch, and 1 edge stitch. The first row of the pattern repeat. Slip the edge stitch. And then knit all stitches. The last stitch in this row. And in all rows, I always knit it. You can do it the way you prefer. I knit to the end of the row. Now the second row. In the second row, all stitches will be purl. Slip the edge stitch and then purl all stitches. I purl in the classic style. I will explain how to knit this pattern using classic stitches. In this row, knit the edge stitch again. The third row of the pattern. Slip the edge stitch. And then repeat as follows. Slip a stitch with a yarn over. And knit 5 stitches. And slip a stitch with a yarn over again, don't knit it. And knit 5 stitches. Repeat this to the end of the row. At the end of the row, there is 1 symmetry stitch left. Slip it with a yarn over. And knit the edge stitch. The fourth row of the pattern. Here, repeat as follows. Slip the edge stitch without knitting it. Next, the stitch slipped with a yarn over in the previous row. These 2 stitches, the stitch and the yarn over, slip them again in this row. And add another yarn over. So it's a stitch slipped with 2 yarn overs. Then purl 1 stitch. Next, I need to purl 3 stitches together. So that the middle one of the 3 is the furthest from me. How will I do this? Slip the first stitch, slip the second stitch. Put them back on the left needle, change their positions. And then knit them like this. Put them back on the left needle. Catch the third stitch. And purl them all together. So you have 3 stitches together purled. The central one is the furthest from me. So it becomes the first of these 3. If you just purl 3 together, the first one will remain the first. And it won't look very nice. And the last stitch in the pattern repeat is just purl. And repeat all this again and again. Slip the stitch with the yarn over, add another yarn over. Then purl. Then purl 3 together. Slip the first, slip the second. Change their positions on the needle. Insert the needle underneath. Add the third stitch and purl them together. And another purl stitch. And repeat this to the end of the row. Slip the stitch with the yarn over, add another yarn over, then purl. Purl 3 together. Like this. At the end of the row, there is one symmetry stitch, which was slipped with a yarn over in the previous row. Slip it again. Add another yarn over. And that completes the 4th row. Now the 5th row. Again, slip the edge stitch. And then knit the stitch slipped with 2 yarn overs. Knit these 3 stitches together. Add another yarn over to the needle. Knit 3 stitches together, so that the central one of the 3 is the closest to me. So it should become the first one again. Slip the first 2. Slip the 3rd. Actually do this. Knit and slip these first 2 over the 3rd. And you get that the central one of the 3 together becomes the first one. Add a yarn over again. And this is the pattern repeat in this row. Again, 3 together. That's the stitch and 2 yarn overs. Add a yarn over. And then 3 together so that the central one is the closest to me. 1 to 2, knit the 3rd. Slip these 2 over. Yarn over. And work this to the end of the row. Six repeats I did. And here at the end, this is the symmetry stitch. Knit it. It becomes 3 together. Knit the edge stitch. This was the 5th row. Now the 6th row. The purl side. The 6th row. Slip the edge stitch without knitting it. And then repeat as follows. 1 purl. Yarn over. 3 purls, 1, 2, 3. And again yarn over. And here are the 6 stitches of the pattern repeat. And again, 1 purl. Yarn over, 3 purls. 1, 2, 3. Yarn over. And again. 1 purl, yarn over. 3 purls, 1, 2, 3, yarn over. And again repeat. 1 purl, yarn over, 1, 2, 3, yarn over. And again 1 purl, yarn over. 3 purls, 1, 2, 3, yarn over. And again 1 purl, yarn over. 3 purls, 1, 2, 3, yarn over. There is the symmetry stitch left. Purlite. And knit the edge stitch. And that completes the 6th row. Now the 7th row, the right side. Here all stitches are just knit. Slip the edge stitch and knit. I recommend counting your stitches in this row, to make sure that your number of stitches equals the number of stitches you cast on at the beginning. That nothing has changed. Exactly in this 7th row. The 7th row is the last row in half of the pattern repeat. That means the full pattern repeat consists of 14 rows in this pattern. Next is the 8 to 9 row. These are 2 rows. The 8th will be all purl stitches. The 9th row will be all knit stitches, and let's move straight to the 10th row. The 10th row on the purl side. Here we start repeating. Slip the edge stitch. 1 purl, another purl, and another purl. Make 3 purls. And then repeat. Slip the stitch with a yarn over without knitting. And 2 purls. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 stitches of the pattern repeat. 3 purls, 1, 2, 3. Slip the stitch with a yarn over, 2 purls, 1, 2. and again 1, 2, 3. Slip the stitch with a yarn over, and 2 pearls, 1, 2, and again 1, 2, 3. Slip the stitch with a yarn over, and 2 pearls, 1, 2, and again 1, 2, 3. Slip the stitch with a yarn over, and 2 pearls, 1, 2, and again 1, 2, 3. Slip the stitch with a yarn over, and 2 pearls, 1, 2, and the last symmetry stitch. It's also purl, and the edge stitch, knit the edge stitch. This was the 10th row. Row 11. Here, I slip the edge stitch without knitting it. Look, if it were a full repeat, there would be 3 together, but since the repeat is not full at the beginning, 1 stitch is missing, so I start with a left-leaning decrease, which means I slip the first stitch, knit the second, and pass the slipped stitch over. Next, I knit 1 stitch, the next stitch with a yarn over, I slip it again without knitting it. 1 knit stitch. And here's the pattern repeat. Now I'll repeat it fully. 3 together, so that the central one becomes the closest to me, so it becomes the first one. 1 knit stitch. Slip the knit stitch with the yarn over, and add another yarn over to them, and then 1 knit stitch. Repeat this until the end of the row. 3 together knitwise. One knit stitch. Slip the stitch with the yarn over. 1 knit stitch. 3 together knitwise. 1 knit stitch. Slip the stitch with the yarn over. 1 knit stitch. 3 together knitwise. And again 1 knit stitch. Slip the stitch with the yarn over, and add another yarn over. 1 knit stitch. 3 together knitwise. One knit stitch. Slip the stitch with the yarn over, and 1 more knit stitch. There are 3 stitches left. 1 edge stitch, and 2 stitches. These should be 2 together knitwise. I do 2 together to the right, and knit the edge stitch. This was the 11th row of the pattern. And now the 12th row of the pattern. Here, I work as follows. Slip the edge stitch. And first, I need to do just 2 together purlwise. I do 2 together purlwise. Just the usual way. Then I do a yarn over. And according to the pattern, there's a stitch with 2 yarn overs. 3 together purlwise. Again a yarn over. And here again, I need to do 3 together purlwise, so that the central one becomes the furthest from me. Again, I change their positions on the needle, reverse them, insert the needle underneath. Like this and like that. And purl 3 together. I do a yarn over. Again 3 together purlwise. Again a yarn over. And again 3 together purlwise. So that the central one becomes the furthest from me. Slip the first one. Slip the second one. Change their positions on the left needle. Insert the right needle from underneath. Return to the left needle. Insert the needle into the 3rd stitch. And do a purl stitch the classic way. Oops, the yarn over fell. No big deal, I'll pick it up now. Again a yarn over, and again 3 together purlwise. Again a yarn over and again 3 together. 3 together purlwise. Yarn over, 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 3 together purlwise. Yarn over. I reach the last stitches. Here there are only 2 stitches left. I do 2 together purlwise. But I need to change their positions on the needle again. And knit from underneath like this. Because here the second one should be on top. That's why it's done this way. And the last stitch is knitwise. Row 13. Right side. Slip the edge stitch without knitting it. Then work as follows. 2 knit stitches. Yarn over, knit, yarn over, knit. Here's the pattern repeat. Again, 2 knit stitches. Yarn over, knit, yarn over, knit. And again, 2 knit stitches. Yarn over, knit, yarn over, knit. And again, 2 knit stitches. Yarn over, knit, yarn over, knit. And again, 2 knit stitches, yarn over, knit, yarn over, knit. And again, 2 knit stitches. Yarn over, knit, yarn over, knit. And at the end, there's the symmetry stitch. Knit it. And knit the edge stitch. That was the 13th row. And now the 14th row. The last row in the repeat. The final row of the entire repeat. It's simply knit in purl stitches. And in this 14th row, I again recommend counting all stitches. To make sure that the number of stitches has not changed. Just purl stitches. To the end of this row. And here I've knitted a few repeats in height. Here it turns out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 4 repeats in height. Look at these butterflies or flowers. How they look. Now, in detail about how it's knitted. Along the edge, there's a factory cast on. Then there's a regular rib. And then it transitions to this pattern. Note that they cast on more stitches for the rib. And they knitted it more tightly. I don't think this is hand knitted. It's machine made. So, for the rib, they used smaller needles. And then, when transitioning from the rib to the main pattern, there are decreases. So they made some decreases. Then there's the main pattern fabric. And the neckline. The neckline edge has a rolled edge. It's just a few rows of stockinette stitch. Finished with some kind of bind off. I would bind off with a crochet hook. I think it would be even prettier. And then the stockinette stitch curls like this. If you don't bind off with a rib, it curls like this. The armhole is absent here. So it's a straight sleeve. There's no armhole at all. The sweater is just cut straight, but it's oversized. So it's designed this way. If you make an oversized item, you can afford not to make an armhole. And attach the sleeve directly to the armhole. This is what my video turned out to be. Such a pattern. If you need the chart, you are welcome to my Telegram channel, where you can download it. Let me remind you again. Thank you in advance for your likes. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for your attention. Bye bye. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And click the bell.